All right, there you go. Welcome back from the break. As promised, we're always going to talk about one of the most iconic cars in the motoring world. We've seen the Alfa Romeo. Suddenly, this is not the Alfa Romeo. This is the Ferrari from 1993, the 348 GTS. All right, so the connection between Ferrari and Alfa Romeo is not just because they're both Italian cars. No, the connection as well comes in because the founder of Ferrari, Enzo Ferrari, had a very big part to play in the early days of Alfa Romeo. But what makes this even more iconic to Ferrari is that this is the last V8 mid-engine that was developed by Enzo Ferrari himself before he unfortunately passed away in 1988. Now, the 348 GTS is a 3.4 liter engine in there that has a horsepower of 320. Now, when I say 320, please keep in mind that this is a car from 1993. So that is quite powerful in there. It hits not to 100 in 5.4 seconds. And if you look at its speedometer, it goes up to 300. Plus, it's a 5-speed gearbox somewhere in there. But quite interestingly, it's a mid-engine. And there's been lots of debate about mid-engines and sports cars like this. I think the reasoning is very simple. Mid-engine pretty much means practically that the engine is right in the middle of the car. So you don't have it at the rear, you don't have it at the front. Now, the reason most sport cars love mid-engines is because with it being right in the middle, there is equal distribution of weight with the front wheels and the rear wheels. It also means if you're going through those corners very, very fast, you reduce your chances of skidding. But there is a catch, there is a negative. If you have a mid-engine, it means it takes up so much space right in the middle that you don't have enough space for any passengers behind, which pretty much explains why most sports cars are two-seaters. All right, so when you're inside the 348 GTS, the first thing you need to mind are those folks who are outside the car, actually. What the folks outside the car we really find quite interesting, minus of course the general shape, are your headlamps. Now, when you have your lights on, like you can see, they pop out and flash. So it's quite a very big statement for whoever you're driving into. But let's forget those who are outside and come back on the inside. Now, when you look at the general finishing and the center console here, you do realize it's pretty much focused on the driver. Keep in mind, this is a car from 1993, so don't expect so much plush and so much luxury on the dashboard. But right in the middle here, you can check your engine, you have your double indicators, a couple of buttons, you can work on your AC. Now, it's a 5-speed gearbox, first of all, but it's very special that when you get closer to it, you actually can see the inside of the gearbox. And this means as you change your gears, you can pretty much have a view on the workings of Enzo Ferrari and what his plan pretty much was, trying to put this gearbox out there. And of course, the badge Ferrari is pretty much everywhere, quite outstanding. All right, so let's hit the road. Before we hit the road, how do we start this very car? Quite interesting. It's got both the key and the push button, but each of these has its own role. And when I talk about the push button, I know we've seen that so many times on Revved Up with some of the new generation cars, but keep in mind, this is a car from 1993. So it's very simple. Turn your key and do that. Success! Driving one of the most iconic cars on the planet is one of my best feelings, to be honest with you.
What makes a sports car truly great? It's not just about the power, not just about the speed, nor the image. It's about the passion and the emotion that the car brings. Italian sports car makers have always had the knack of bringing life and heart into their metal machines, which is why they have been, and most likely always will be, the sports car manufacturers to beat.